What is up, everybody? It is Alex, the Boogeyman, here with Baby Yoda at Title Boxing Club in Rochester, New York, with your focus point of the week. This week's question comes courtesy of another one of our fabulous members, Kenna. Kenna, take it away. What are we working on? What's our focus point? Hit me.
Hey Alex, how do I avoid chicken wings?
Don't go to restaurants that serve chicken wings?
No, how do I avoid flaring my elbows out in jabs and crosses?
I know, I was only kidding. I know what you're talking about. Chicken wings, it's very common when people throw those jabs and crosses. The elbows come out, they flare out. You don't want that. So I'm going to tell you why you don't want that first, and then I'm going to tell you how to avoid that in a matter of milliseconds. All right, so here are some ways that you can try to keep those elbows in when you throw those jabs and crosses. But before we even get to that, I'm going to tell you why. Why would you want to keep your elbows in? Why not just have them flare out when you throw jabs and crosses? Well, the big reason is power, right? Because when you keep it in tight and you throw the straight punch, you're getting skeletal alignment. So you're getting your shoulder, elbow, everything behind the punch. Also, if you bring your elbow out here, the punch is now disconnected from the center of mass. So you're not going to get as much of the power from your center of mass into that punch. And also, it's going to be off target as well, because we want to throw those punches right to our own head. So if my elbow comes out, then I'm kind of punching in, and it becomes more of an arm thing than a body thing. We don't want that. And then, of course, in a fight, you don't want your elbows flaring out because people can see that coming. It makes it really obvious if you start to bring your elbow up that you're going to throw the straight punch. You want to kind of sneak it in, keep it nice and close, especially if you're throwing a jab cross. Sometimes they might not even know that cross is coming until the last second. That's what a lot of Muhammad Ali's opponents said. So anyway, how do we avoid doing this? Well, for one, is you just really think about it. So for instance, you can even practice on something like a heavy bag, or I've talked about a wall drill before, where you get as close to it as you can, and I'm just gonna throw crosses right down the middle. Just throw that cross fast as I can. If my elbow flares out, I'll hit the bag. If you stand next to like a wall, you don't want that. So it'll help you just get that muscle memory keeping in. But here's another thing, this is something I noticed recently watching some people, is that when you throw the jabs and crosses, right, we want our palm facing down, or better yet, you want that little corkscrew where you rotate even more. That's a good one, right? So what I'll see people do is they'll start to think about where their wrist is gonna be before they throw the punch. So for instance, they're gonna throw the cross, you'll see turn the wrist to the right position, except you're doing it too early, and that causes the elbow to come up. What you want to do is keep it in neutral as you're throwing it, and then at that last second, that's when you want to rotate the wrist, snap it out there. The jab, you don't need to corkscrew as much, but it's that same thing. You're keeping it neutral as you're turning. Once you get that shoulder rotation, that's when you can snap that punch and bring it back and rotate that wrist at the same time. That'll actually get more power on the punch itself, because it'll get that kind of corkscrew action. So I want to see you guys working on that. I don't want any chicken wings this week. Keep those arms in, keep them in tight, and practice. Like I said, think about, don't rotate the wrist until that last second right before impact. Make sure you go in with a straight, tight fist, of course, very important, and following that sweet science. I want to see everybody following the sweet science. Sweet science is real. Technique is everything. Goodbye.